about to head out the door. I actually filmed a lot of stuff that I did this morning. Okay, so I put a breakfast board together and we had several people spend the night last night. We hosted someone's birthday party, and since we had the bounce house, I apparently just decided, hey, let's just make this a thing. I have a lot to tidy up around here. It could be worse. It's actually not that bad. The majority of the time they've been playing outside. That is, of course. Okay, so these aren't teenagers, these are younger kids. And I find that when the younger kids sleep over, they go to bed so late. I'm talking like so late. And then they wake up at the crack of dawn. I'm like, you are gonna crash tonight? So I feel like I should get a thank you note from their parents. But anyway, they're having a good time and that's what it's all about. But there is a lot to tidy up, okay? Because they were up all night last night and all morning this morning. So upstairs, it's actually not as bad as I've seen it. It's not the worst. It still needs a mother's touch up there. I actually have to bring Avelina to a graduation party today, and then we have another birthday party to attend. So it's just a fun-filled day, if you will. I need to make sure I get dinner prepped. I want to throw a marinade in before I leave. We're having like a little farewell dinner tonight. Nothing crazy, nothing fancy, but I have to make dinner anyway. And my sourdough has been in the fridge for a couple of days. Like, fermenting, and I didn't do it right, so I feel like I really flubbed it, but I'm still gonna try to make bread out of it. Fingers crossed, okay? And then this coming week is their last week of school, like for real, but then that means like all of the last push of the end of the school year. The performance, we've got one performance and then like 4 other events to do. And then it's going to be summertime! And who could be mad about that? Actually, remind me to tell you the story about the pool conversation we had yesterday. A couple of years ago, we talked about getting a pool. Like briefly, we were like, oh, wouldn't that be cool? And then we got a quote and we were like, oh, never mind. But that was when we were doing the addition and everything. Okay, there's so much more to say about the pool, so remind me to talk to you about that later, because summertime without a pool in Florida, I'm telling you, is pretty challenging, not gonna lie. Summertime in general is when like everything just gets so chaotic. I'm off the routine of doing so many things. I don't go to the gym, but you know what I do stay on top of? Oh, that's right, taking my Ritual vitamins. And this video is kindly sponsored by Ritual. Huge thanks to them for supporting me. Huge thanks to you for supporting me when I have sponsored content. I really appreciate it, and there's always a deal involved for you if you're interested. So Ritual vitamins are literally my favorite vitamins. I've been using them for at least 5 years now at this point. I buy them with my own money. And I remember when I was pregnant, I was trying to search like the best vitamins on the market. And Ritual was the one that I came up with. And now Ritual has the #1 prenatal vitamin in the United States. And it's clinically proven, which is amazing. I love Ritual vitamins because they're made with 100% traceable ingredients. They're clean label project certified, and they've done 4 different clinical studies with humans. So you don't have to trust me, you can trust the science, knowing that what you're getting in these vitamins is great quality. So I use 2 different vitamins. The first one is the Ritual multivitamin. It is clean, vegan, backed by science. It's good for brain health, bone health, blood building, and antioxidant support because of the 9 traceable ingredients that are in the multivitamin. I just take 2 of these once a day and I'm good to go. And another fantastic feature about Ritual vitamins is that they have a really pleasant taste and smell because of this little contraption that's in there. It just makes everything really delightful. So this is a minty flavor. I actually get them on auto ship. 1, because I get a discount. 2, because I can't trust myself to like go on and order them every single month that I need them. And I bundle them. So I get the Ritual multivitamin with the Ritual Synbiotic, which is a prebiotic, probiotic, and postbiotic all in one tiny capsule. I've been taking this for such a long time, and honestly, this is like my favorite vitamin I've ever taken. It's for gut health, and I really notice a difference when I take this. It is absolutely fantastic. I can't rave about it enough. I know a lot of people are talking about like all things gut health and what product is actually effective. This for me is number one. I've tried several other things. This is my absolute favorite, and combining the dynamic duo over here just makes things amazing. This Synbiotic, I take one a day and I'm good to go. Ritual also offers a lot of other things on the website. They've got vitamins for skin health, sleep and stress relief, brain and heart health. They also have a protein powder. They don't add any fillers to it. There's no synthetic colorants. They're non-GMO and vegan. There's a lot of good things happening in these vitamins right here. So if you're interested, you can use my link in the description box below to get 25% off of your first order of Ritual vitamins. It's a screaming deal. Take advantage. I'm gonna put the marinade together. Just kidding. I forgot I had all these clips to share with you from what I did this morning. So I told you, oh, you know, we had a little sleepover. Did I share with you that they didn't sleep at all? I shouldn't even call it a sleepover. You guys, listen. I shouldn't feel guilty for saying no when, you know, kids ask to spend the night, but I do. And it's a problem. I'm working on it. I'm not very good at it. I do say no sometimes, but then I feel guilty. And I'm like, oh man, you know, not just, it's layered. Like my kids too, like they have fun, obviously, but it's, you know, obviously it's more kids, it's more work. Then there were 4 kids sleeping over this night, and I didn't want to say yes to a couple because that had already been solidified, and then no to another couple. You know what I mean? So anyway, I just said, whatever. So I'm making breakfast for everyone. I decided people wanted different things, mostly because I asked them. That was my mistake. Normally I just make something and throw it out there. So I'm making French toast. I needed to use up the rest of this croissant bread that I got from Costco, which is, oh my gosh, so good. And then the loaf wasn't big enough. I had so much of the egg mixture left that I decided to cut up a couple of croissants, or maybe just one, and throw that in. And that was absolutely delicious. Along with those on the breakfast board, if you will, carb board, let's call it that, I decided to throw some pancakes together. The easy way, yes, you could make this from scratch, but why not take the convenience of a box pancake mix? This is Bisquick because it was buy one, get one free one day at Publix, and I said, yeah, that'll be good to have in my back pocket for those days that I just don't feel like going above and beyond. Is that my fault? Should I feel guilty about that? No. Maybe I would. Maybe I do, but like I'm trying to convince myself not to, right? So I just mix that. I don't measure anything, you guys. I just throw an egg, throw some milk in there. And then my daughter was like, don't forget the chocolate chips. Normally my kids help me with this, making that like the whole shebang. They usually help me make breakfast, whatever. But everyone was out back playing. And you know, that's why we had the sleepover, because we were like, oh, we've got the bounce house. We've got everything from the birthday party, whatever. And so this morning, you know, it was nice. They went out there and they played, and they were actually, oh my gosh, out there all day. They were out there all day. And then we had another birthday party to go to. So they were outside all day long, which is awesome for them. You know what I mean? But, it's a lot, neglecting all of the duties and responsibilities that I have on the inside of the house. You should see my laundry room, you guys. I'm not sure I've ever seen it this bad. But we won't think about that because I didn't do laundry at all in this video. You're welcome. Maybe next time, perhaps, I don't know. But the mini chocolate chips are my go-to for pancakes. Normally my kids really like to load them on and do that part, so it's a lot of fun for them. But they were outside playing in the mud. Oh, did I tell you they they dug a hole? That was really bad. We had the hose on, and so the hose got the dirt all loose, and so they just started digging a hole. And I was like, you know what? Why did we even buy, not that we bought the bounce house for this party, but why, just in general, why do we buy the big expensive things when kids are just so happy with the little things? Did I tell you we went through like 2,000 Buncho balloons? Oh. Can we do a bunch of balloons? I was like, yeah, go for it. I didn't know they were actually going to go for it and use every single one that I had in my drawer. You guys know I stock up on those. I buy them when they're on clearance. I buy them when they're on sale. I buy them, when I see them at a good price. Holy cow. I'm going to have to restart my supply is all I'm saying, okay? Because they completely depleted it. I was a little upset. I didn't say anything, but internally I was like, are you serious? Are you joking? Oh my gosh, crazy. But you know what? And a reason to be upset for another day. Not today, though, because I'm making a breakfast board and I made homemade whipped cream. And watch out. So to make homemade whipped cream, you probably know, just get some heavy whipping cream, throw a little bit of powdered sugar in there. I whip it until it's like, soft peaks almost. And then that's when I throw the sugar in there. And then I just continue to whip it the rest of the way. It's fantastic. I always like to have heavy whipping cream and what's the other one? Half and half in my fridge. I find that I can make so many different recipes with those, not just desserts, but also dinner, like any kind of white sauce, Alfredo sauce. I think the broccoli cheddar soup calls for half and half. So it's always nice to have on hand, and it lasts for a pretty long time, which is nice. In the other bowls, I put out some honey. I put out some powdered sugar for the French toast. And then, yes, I did cave and buy Nutella at one point. It was a weakness. I had a moment of weakness. And honestly, I'm reaping the benefits, okay? Because Nutella tastes so good. I don't often buy these. And you know what? I normally buy it during summertime. And I just did it like a week earlier this time. So this will be like an introduction to a summer breakfast, a summer weekend breakfast. Looks so good, man. I am so very much looking forward to summertime. Oh, for multiple reasons. I'm sure you understand all of them. I feel like May really just, oh my gosh, the time commitment of every single thing. Mentally, first of all, we're still going through it and I'm most certainly recovering from it, but we'll get back on track eventually. Maybe, who knows? Probably not. Is this just my life now? I don't know. But for the rest of the board, I threw on the pancakes, some with chocolate chips, some without. I threw on some croissants, some jelly. What else do I have on there? Oh, bacon. I threw that on there because why not? We need a little bit of protein. You should be able to eat a little bit of protein with all your carbs. And then I did some boiled eggs for an added touch of protein, and then some strawberries. Oh, and my butter syrup that I made in a recent video. Oh, chef's kiss, al dente. I'm telling you guys, this is like, my favorite thing to eat, bar none. I don't know. I don't understand that term. I'm not really sure what that means, bar none. I'm gonna have to Google it, but that's for real. And then I put out the grapes. So just know they had healthy options too. And then I told them, hey, if you want yogurt, it's in the fridge. More protein. You know what I mean? My kids eat yogurt like it's going out of style. And, I'm like, hey, it's got probiotics in there. It's got protein. It's good for you. And I'm okay with that. If you sprinkle a little bit of mini M&Ms on there, I'm still calling it healthy. A win is a win, okay? I almost made some scrambled eggs alongside of it. And then I was like, you know what? The price of eggs, So I opted against that. And I had some hard-boiled eggs on there. And I thought that was good enough. But also, I was done. I was like, you know what? There's no more space on the board. I don't care enough to do. And the kids, they were happy with what they got. And honestly, I was impressed by the board. I love doing boards like that. They're so simple and easy to throw together. Just, get a couple different things. And if you want extra convenience sometimes, if we're having like a big sleepover, I'll go to Publix in the morning, usually before the teenagers wake up, preteens wake up. They sleep in a little bit more than the little ones. And I'll run to the store and just get a bunch of random stuff from their bakery, but it is a lot more expensive to do it that way, okay? Hey, by the way, I'm turning into Jessica Braun, yes, because I bought her concealer brush after listening to her talk about it forever. And she was like, hey, it's on a really good sale. And I was like, bet. So I bought it. And it's okay. I don't know. I don't do makeup enough to like understand it. I have one brand. I really just wear It Cosmetics, CC cream, eyebrow powder, lip gloss, Aquifer. What else? Mascara. And I think I have been recently putting on bronzer. I got it from e.l.f. And I really like this setting spray. It smells really good. I don't think it does anything. I don't think it makes my makeup last any longer, you guys. What's the gimmick behind it? What's the conspiracy? Just to push more product and sell things? People are going to label it, oh yeah, absolutely, my makeup lasts all day. Does anyone's makeup last all day? I've got a solid 3 hours until everything's rubbed off, Especially in this Florida sunshine, in this Florida heat. And it's not the heat that gets you, it's the humidity. And then it's just like all off. And that's the majority of the reason why I don't really wear a base. I really just do my eyes and like around my nose a little bit, because I'm going to sweat it all off. And I have been in a situation where I've had, a foundation on, and I've been sweating and just wiping my sweat. And then it looks like it doesn't look good. Okay. It's not a good look for me. I don't know how other people make it work. Maybe I'm just a sweaty monster, but that has been my experience. So ever since that happened, I can literally tell you the day in which I decided I'm never wearing foundation again. I say that, but like the It Cosmetics CC cream, that's pretty high coverage. I don't think I ever have worn it around my entire face, but I have done a Misha tinted, I don't know what it's called, a tinted, whatever it's called, tinted something, BB cream. I think it's a BB cream. And I liked that for years, and that was good, but it's like, low coverage. And so when you're sweating it off, it's not that big of a drastic difference. So it's not a big deal, but I can literally remember the day, the moment I can remember who I was talking to when I was sweating, wiping it away. And I'm like, I look like an idiot. And probably I was fine, but in my head, I was like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. And that was the moment I decided never again. It was a fall festival, actually. And it was probably 4 years ago. So there's that. And moving on, I did decide to make a juice this morning. I ran out of my meal prep juices, and I will say, really, they're only good for like a couple of days. But I didn't strain them, so I wonder if that was the difference. Also, I need another juicer. I know I've been talking about it. I've been eyeing a couple. Many of you have made recommendations, and I really appreciate it. And by many of you, I mean a handful. I don't think the juicing community is that big right now. That's okay. I don't need to go with the trends. I just need to do what's right for me. And for me, I'm not a smoothie gal. I still want to get the nutrients in. I know I'm not going to eat this amount of, produce and vegetables on a daily basis otherwise, but I'm still getting those nutrients in my body. Yes, it's less fiber, yada, yada. We can go on and on about it, but I do feel like that I'm still doing something good for my body and getting this stuff in. So I pretty much make the same juice, because every time I deviate from it, I'm like, this just doesn't hit the spot in the same sense. So, also this juicer sucks. It makes way too much pulp, and I don't like it. So there's that. I did half a pineapple, a huge handful of spinach, 2 limes, couple kiwi, an apple, and a whole English cucumber. I would love to add mint to that, but I don't have my life together enough to buy mint on a regular basis, buy enough of it anyway. They don't sell it at Costco, and I think that's really the main problem. Where do I sign a petition to get them? Do you see how pulpy that is? Makes me, oh my gosh, I'm not even exaggerating right now, okay? This is why I can't do smoothies. I'm a texture kind of gal. It's not for me. I took a sip of it, and I was like, oh my gosh, horrible. And even Alex is like, you know what? I don't mind pulp, but this is a bit too much. What the heck? So I did end up having to strain it just for myself. Like, what? That's not a juice, man. That's just pulp. So that was my solution to this. And it just takes so much time. I was like, but you know what? I'm not going to drink it otherwise. I'm not going to drink it if it's nasty. I'm only going to drink it if it's a nice pressed juice, cold pressed. Yes. And it does taste really good, by the way. Wolfgang likes it. He drank some of mine this morning. I actually poured him his own separate cup, which was really cute. But they call it like 50 Shades of Green at Grain and Berry. I call it tropical punch, if you will. And I love it. And I got dressed and ready for the day. This was in my haul that I just shared earlier this week. If you're interested, I got this outfit and a couple of dresses for graduation. And I'm adding the purse, ready to go to the birthday party. And we had a good time. Like I told you, we were outside catching some sun rays, trying not to get sunburned. We failed, by the way. I'll let you know that. Oh my goodness, deep in the spice cabinet. Let me tell you, I'm gonna throw the marinade together real quick and then head to the birthday party, and then I'll come back and do all the, weekly reset, all the household chores and all that good stuff. I looked everywhere for rosemary. I'm gonna make the best marinade. It is so good. And I know I have rosemary because is this it? If this is it, I'm gonna cry. Are you joking? I must have taken this out first and then forgot. If I told you how many minutes I've spent looking for this spice, I'd be embarrassed. right here. I was like, I know I have it. I've made rosemary chicken. I bought it, which is like a casserole dish. My aunt made it when she came to visit a whole 2 years ago, which was so sweet and nice. And it's like a pasta casserole, but you mix it all together overnight and then the next day you cook it. I should share that with you. I haven't. I don't know. It has the cream of chicken soups in it. And I typically don't cook with those, but it was really good. All right, one more thing. I'm running low on lemons. Avelina's been doing lemon water every morning. So let me tell you about the pool before I forget. There's actually, we got a whole movie. We had a couple of people come out to give us quotes. We weren't exactly sure what we were looking for or even wanted. I mean, we knew we wanted a pool, but do you know how many features come with a pool? Literally so many. And now that we've gone, what, 3-4 summers without one, every summer we're like, man, we need to get. So now my Instagram feed is just like 10 reasons to get a pool. And like, you'll never regret getting a pool. It's such a good investment. And if you think about it, it really is, because everyone can use it and enjoy it. There's just, I don't know, so many features about it. And there are some downfalls, like, right, the upkeep, the cleaning it, you know, once a week and all of that stuff. But anyway, I'll try to show you the video that we got. And listen, I told you, Alex doesn't do anything like normal. He goes above and beyond. He goes crazy with it. So that's the quote that we were getting, just to like get an idea, right? I don't think we're gonna go that route because you know, we're trying to cut corners and save a little bit, because it was an astronomical quote. But he envisioned a full grotto with a slide and a cliff to jump off of. And yeah, it was luxury. I just think we're gonna go in a different direction. And I just, you know, a lot of my kids' friends have pools. Many people in Florida have pools. It's a very common thing. They just enjoy it so much. And I know at our last house we had a pool and our kids used it. When I say literally almost every day, I truly mean it. Like even into October, November, and then as early as March. I remember when the pandemic happened. Oh, you better believe my kids were in the pool every single day during that year. And it really saved us. What I'm envisioning now is more of like clean lines, and because that's the last quote we got, we had a guy who's like, you know what, the way that your house is structured and to match, it would be so nice just to have clean lines. Alex really wants like a hot tub or whatever it's called attached to it. I think we're gonna go a lot more basic than the video. The video is very cool. Oh, I'm forgetting 2 things. I'll put this recipe below, and if I forget, just remind me. I try to do my best with those. Oh wait, so the banging thing isn't working for me lately. Here is another trick that I forgot I used to do. Centrifugal motion. Gotta wind it up from my old softball days. Oh yes. Faith Hill taught me what centrifugal motion was. Not gonna lie. It was not my science teacher, Mr. Foggy. What grade do you remember the most when you think back to like teachers? For me, 7th grade. That was it. That was like the year I remember. Yeah, but then a lot of high school. I don't know. I remember a lot. Anyway, add the chicken. I should have probably mixed that marinade. It's fine. It'll be fine. To coat the chicken in here. This kiss, this kiss. Okay, I don't know what sides I'm making for dinner, but at least I know this part is done. Don't judge my room. And by room, I mean closet. I had to put a birthday gift together yesterday really quick. And so I didn't finish, you know, like packing up. And then today I just left it out because I was like, oh, I have to do it again tomorrow. And then that's how everything just becomes a mess, right? We leave it for later. But I realized I didn't tell you about graduation. Oh my gosh, you guys, I didn't cry. Well, okay, I cried a little bit. But this was the most special graduation I have ever seen or been to. And it's not just because my kid was in it. Obviously that made it special, but the way that they set it up, and I have said this over and over and over again, I love my kids' school so much. They really put a huge emphasis on the kids, and it just makes it that much more special. It was all about them. At the very end, like they had a teacher speak, well, it was the head of school, and then they, you know, walked across the stage and got their certificate or whatever. But anyway, then we had a big party to go to. They had this huge shindig, and it was so amazing watching them all. And I mean, there were a lot of moments where I teared up, but none where I was like sobbing like I thought I would be. I did sob because they had a couple of different ceremonies and stuff. I did sob, but I held it together as much as possible. But I wasn't the only one sobbing, I know, because I was sitting. Anyway, other moms were too. There was a group of us. We're fine, it's fine. Because a lot of us have been there forever. I have goosebumps just talking about it. But anyway, so they do this ceremony and this really special thing where all of the kids go up one at a time and they have a little speech, right? And then after that, all of the other kids in their grades do like a special ceremony, like very short and sweet, but very, very special. And when they got to the pre-K 3, which is the youngest grade, I couldn't hold it together anymore. I have goosebumps right now. It's so crazy because all I could think of was, this was yesterday with Avelina. Like I was just watching her move up from pre-K 3 to pre-K 4 and like run to her, you know, pre-K 4 teacher's arms, and as a classroom, they're just so excited. And now I just watched her move on from 8th grade, and they had music playing, and the music just really gets to me. And so many years ago, you know, 11, 12 years ago, when she was in pre-K 3, and they said, you know, this is the class of 2025. And we were like, that's so far away. And this ceremony was extra special for us because obviously we had kids in like, you know, every few grades move up, and that was fun and exciting to watch them. I think I'm losing it right now. It's just a really cruel reminder of how fast time goes, and watching these kids walk across the graduation stage and like see them all dolled up in like their gowns and their suits and high heels and their hair done, and I'm like, these are grown women. They've grown so much, and just watching them grow throughout the years, it just brings so much joy to my heart. And I know they will be lifelong friends, like some of these friendships, because you know, they've been together for so long. Oh my gosh, my heart. Okay, so anyway, happy graduation season. If you're going through that, I know you feel me. I know you're crying with me, and you're like buried in the chaos, and it's all bittersweet. All right, off to the birthday party. Okay, I'm back from the birthday party, and I had to pick up Eleanor from another friend's house. And when I was there, oh, by the way, this is my sourdough. I didn't form it into a loaf before I put it in the fridge, and I think that was the biggest mistake that I made, but I'm gonna try to salvage this. It's been in the fridge for at least 2 days, if not more. Yeah, I'm gonna need some flour for this one. It'll be fine, I'm sure it will. Anyway, so while I was at her friend's house, the mom was making something, and honestly questionable, but she just texted me, and it was mac and cheese in the oven like a casserole, you know? And she's like, you know what? It looks amazing actually, because it was really soupy. And I was like, well, I guess you gotta send me the recipe. So I think I'm gonna make that tonight. I think I have all the ingredients to throw it together. It's gonna be a little later dinner, but it should be fine. And then it'll be a carby day because I've got this sourdough bread. Actually, hold on, it's probably too much. I'm just gonna form this into a loaf. So I'm just gonna like, you know, do that, and then it smells very sourdoughy, so that's giving me hopes. I'm feeling a couple lumps and bumps, so that's probably not the best thing. It's a little sticky. I'm just gonna form it into a loaf and then let it rise while my pot is in the oven for an hour at 500 degrees, and then cross my fingers and hope that bread is made. You know, it's hard to mess up sourdough. I know there are a lot of rules that I don't follow, but it always comes out. And people used to make this in caves. They made it out of scraps, and I feel like I've got high hopes. Shooting for the stars, honestly, 10 out of 10 on the scoring. Do I score it before I bake it? Shoot. Oh, crap. I had to reform it. I don't think this is gonna come out. But something that no one ever told me about sourdough, and maybe I just didn't do enough research, is that you have to add ice. Just a couple of cubes of ice. I put it in the pan, and then I bought a spray bottle and I sprayed the top of it. The flour doesn't burn, and it gives it a nice golden brown color. So check it, I just have like this is for hair, but whatever, it's for my sourdough. And then I cover it up and throw it in for 20 minutes. This is when I took it out after 20 minutes, and then I throw it back in without a lid for another 10 minutes. Honestly, I was surprised. It looks pretty good. I thought it was gonna be flat and hard. So, did I tell you what I was making? 5-star mac and cheese. I cooked some elbow pasta, a whole box of it, until it's al dente. And then in this pot, I'm gonna throw in 1 can of evaporated milk, even though I opened 2, because I thought it said 2, but it says 2 eggs. Half a cup of milk. This is all I have. Heavy whipping cream is good enough. Crack in a couple of eggs here, and then whisk those together. A little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper, maybe some cayenne if you want to bump it up a notch, and then like a tablespoon and a half of sugar. I will tell you, my friend just texted me and confirmed this is in fact 5-star mac and cheese. So let me get this mixed. Do we trust her palate is the real question. I'm gonna throw the macaroni in here. It's been a long time since I bought macaroni. And then I'm gonna throw the liquid in here. Get it all out of there. Give this a mix. Okay, and then to this, I may have accidentally doubled the noodles. I definitely did. So you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna add a little bit more evaporated milk along with a little bit of normal milk. Just a little bit of everything, not quite doubling. It calls for 8 to 10 ounces of pasta, but I did 16, the whole box, and that's fine. It'll feed our family. I'm okay with that. I'm questioning whether or not I should add another egg. And you know what? I think I'm going to. Not sure if this is the right choice, but this is what we're doing. Just gonna incorporate that. Beautiful. Along with a little bit of sour cream, couple dollops. You guys know how much I love a good block of Velveeta. I make fudge with it. You can make queso with it. I'm going to just cut it into cubes and toss this in. It calls for ½ a pound. I'm gonna do a little bit more, just like everything else. Along with 1 stick of butter cut into cubes. This is like melted. I think someone left our outside fridge open. You know, I'm not gonna point fingers, but I will in my head. Good, good. Ooh, that's incorporating nicely. I will also add, hers was a lot more soupier than this. Obviously, I screwed so many things up. So if you're making this too and yours is a little bit more liquidy, just know you're probably doing it right. I'm adding more of everything. I'm gonna throw 8 ounces of Colby Jack cheese in here, along with a cup of cheddar cheese, and then I'm gonna leave the rest for the top. I'm just gonna mix all of this in. I'm actually worried, like she had so much more liquid in hers, I'm gonna add some more. All right, it's looking crazy. All the reviews were 5 stars. I'm just gonna throw the rest of the cheese on top. Perfect. Into the oven, 350 degrees for 30 to 40 minutes. And when you know, oh, here's the finished sourdough bread, by the way. What? It had the strongest sourdough flavor I've ever made from home. That 2-day fermentation process was really going hard, and it was so hot. I was trying to show you and I was like, I don't know why I'm holding this. And then I came out here and was grilling, just threw the chicken on the barbecue. And it's my favorite way to eat the chicken. Tastes so delicious. Anything on the grill tastes far superior. I've been meaning to do more salmon on the grill. We grill out here actually a lot. Mostly because everything tastes better, right? But also, we like to take advantage of this outdoor living space. It is honestly the thing that really sold us on the house. This is like Florida lifestyle. You're outside a lot because obviously the weather is a lot nicer, aside from like the horrible heat of summertime. But even then, you can throw some fans on and it's totally fine. I don't know when football season starts. What is the preseason in August or something? I don't even know, but we'll watch football games out here and it's just a really nice spot. So we're out here a ton and we're really lucky to have this grill, honestly. At our old house, we had one of those like little circular grills that you could move around, and Alex would grill on that, take it off, and then grill again because that's how small it was. We couldn't even make enough food for all of us on the one grill. Obviously, we could have like bought a bigger grill, but you know, we didn't really have a place to store it, and yeah, 100 other reasons. But anyway, here's the chicken, doesn't it? Ooh, she's beauty and she's grace. She's Miss United States. She's what? Elegance and taste. She's queen of 50 states. I need to memorize that song. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. I feel like no one really talks about it anymore, which kind of makes sense because it's a movie from like 2002, 2005. I don't even know when. Probably closer to 3. I don't know. That would be good. Movie trivia. Hey, when did Miss Congeniality come out? I'm not sure I've ever seen the second one. I'm just a fan of the originals. This is after dinner. Everyone's getting ready for bed. Actually, I think this is when the mac and cheese was cooking. Yeah, it wasn't even after dinner yet. Wait, what? I don't know what time it is. It looks like the oven's still on, so I don't think it's bedtime yet. But it like essentially is bedtime because the kids were so exhausted from the weekend and it was a super late dinner, way later than we normally eat. But everyone went to bed with full bellies and it was fantastic. And summer nights are getting to me because it's, darker later. Anyway, that is it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Don't forget to check out Ritual Vitamins. You can get 30% off of your first order. And I'll see you next time. Bye. Look at that mac and cheese, by the way. 5-star review from me too.